Hi everybody, my name is Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Jason.
And we are the Who in the Torah YouTube channel.
And we are so glad that you guys have joined us. We are back as our 5-member band. We have a female in our band. That female is Nicole. And the drummer is Jade. The guitar guy is Cade. And Eli plays the kazoo. Or nothing. Actually, none of us play any of that stuff. So hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Hopefully you guys are good. Hopefully you're blessed. It is a third day on our Father's Creator's calendar. What does that make it? It's Tuesday?
Yeah.
Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. I don't even look at the schedule. I don't even know. All right. Anyone have anything? How'd you guys do? You guys were vacant yesterday. We missed you. We continued on without you. Quick refresher for yesterday. Eli, what happened yesterday?
I did dog food and fires.
That wasn't what happened yesterday in Leviticus or Numbers.
You meant what happened.
So you made dog food?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yesterday they there was a command for zeets, and there was also a command for other offerings.
Oh, right. Yesterday's command was for tzitzis, and something we figured out that we had wrong is that we had white and blue in all our tzitzis. We did not know because we never read these commands close enough. We saw it, and everyone wears tzitzis, but we didn't realize there was only one color in there. Ori Pup went and looked that word up, I believe, in like Strong's Concordance or something of the sort, and it comes out that it was actually violet. Like the color of the tzitzi is supposed to be like a blue violet-ish. Purplish, yeah, the same colors as the temple stuff, right? And so what are Yah's favorite colors?
Scarlet, blue, and purple.
Yeah, all of those. And somehow we ended up putting white into our stuff. And when Nicole looked that up, the white from the tzitzis actually came from Jewish traditions because the Jews have white shirts. And so they wanted something, I guess, to match your shirts or something. And I guess...
Why did they add black? Because they wear black, too.
They're penguins. They wear the outer corner. It's like a penguin gear, right?
It is, too. They have the white stomach,
yeah, no,
and they got the black
They're all
outside.
penguins. If they just waddled around a little bit, you'd never know the difference between a penguin and, those guys dressing up like that. And all of those things, I don't mean to be... I'm not mocking them, but everything that they're doing is completely out of the Talmud, right? We've never been told to dress in, like, white shirts, black things, and look like... who is that? What's that? Amish. Like the Amish do that. They dress up like that. And I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, but there is nothing that Yah says that you are to be coordinated and look like penguins of anything of the sort. But we are supposed to have blue tzitzis coming down so that people can identify us. And the Jewish people, they have white. They don't have any blue because they're completely out of covenant with our Creator. So you wouldn't want to be a Jew. You would want to be a Torah-keeping, Yah-loving, YHWH, obeying, child of the Most High is what we want to be. All right. Anyone have anything?
No.
So you said yesterday, Eli, you were making dog food?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
We boiled some water. We have some like dog meat. We put in like some like minerals and stuff for them.
I gotta say, Eli, we've been cooking off grid now for a little bit, and it seemed like that fire was a little sketchy yesterday.
I hate fire.
You hate fire. Why? What is wrong with your fire? You keep saying the last few times, every time we talk about this, you say it's wood that's wet. Is your wood still wet?
Kind of, but the logs just don't want to catch fire. I have like a good fire going, put a new log on.
What about using littler sticks and catching the little sticks instead of the giant wet log?
I try that.
Really?
Yeah.
It didn't work?
A little sticks catch a little bit of fire, but then they go out.
So you're trying to tell me the entire California redwood forest is able to burn off and we cannot get a little fire going for our dog food?
Guess so.
Okay, all right. Well, that's it. Hopefully today we have better help at this, or better, I wouldn't say luck, because I don't believe in luck. I believe everything is ordained by the hand of Yah. All right, let's get into this, guys. It's going to be an exciting lesson today. Let's do our handy-dandy split screen. Jade showed me, go ahead, give me the drum roll. Bam. And he showed me like one key. That's all I have to do. It didn't let me down.
Then drag your, then click separate.
There we go. And so that is our handy-dandy split screen. Now it's a little easier to get to.
It's even handy-dandier.
Handy-dandier, absolutely. All right, so this one's called Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. All right, now I guess for people that have never read this before, this is the prelude into this is that Yah just made a commandment, if you guys remember, in the very last part of Numbers 15, that he wants everybody to wear tassels, right? He wants everybody to wear a ribbon of blue or violet, whatever color that is. Now, this is something everyone should understand is these writings like Numbers, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, they weren't ever split into chapters, right? It was one large writing. And so people over the years have split all of this stuff into chapters and into different setup of books and things of that nature. And so the last thing that we had, which I assume or probably think set off the entire group of these people, is the Tzitzites. All of a sudden, Yah's like, I want you guys to all wear blue tassels, ribbons on the side of your things. Now, this upsets some people, and you're going to see what happens to these people that are upset, because all of a sudden they thought this command came from Moshe, right? They're like, oh, Moshe is just this and that and blah, blah, blah. And these people are always writing against poor Moshe. And this is as the scriptures say, Moshe was like one of the most humble, accountable folks ever. And, there's some power that goes with Moshe, because Moshe is able to speak with our Creator in probably ways that we shouldn't attempt to. He just, he says things like, let it be, and he's like, please stop this now. And Yah listens to him. And I think that's very important. Okay. Number 16. Excuse me. Now, Korach, the son of Yitzhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Avram, the sons of Eliav, and On, the sons of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. Okay. So these are the Reubenites, right? These are not the Levites. And so we have to understand these are people outside of the Levitical priesthood. And they rose up before Moshe with certain of the children of Yashrael, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the assembly, men of renown. All right, so basically this Korah guy got all of the people that had any kind of say whatsoever. These are the people that rose up in their tribes and became people within their tribes, and they were famous within their tribes. And they gathered themselves together against Moshe and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the assembly are holy, every one of them, and Yahuwah is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the assembly of Yahuwah? And when Moshe heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spoke unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow Yahuwah will show who is his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him who he has chosen will he cause to come near unto him. So this is where Moshe knows what's going to go down. He's going to know what's going to go down, right? And so he's essentially setting Korah up for death. Because he knows what will happen if people outside of the Levium, who are, number one, who are unclean, they're not going to be ceremonially clean like the rest of the Levites, who work very hard to stay clean, and they have to have, they wash here and wash there. They can't touch this, they can't touch that, and they're very ceremonially clean. So Moshe, this is kind of like a bus ride by Moshe. It's a bus ride by Yah, but this is how you would die in the face of Yah. This do. Take you censers, Korach, and all your company. Okay, you guys say censers?
Do this, take fire holders.
Fire holders, right? Okay, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before Yahuwah tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom Yahuwah chooses, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. Okay, so anyway, he knows, based upon the children of Aaron, what happens if you offer strange fire. So he didn't give him any. He's like, go take some censers and go put some of this in there, and then go offer that before Yah. He knows this is a death sentence here.
Korach is a Levite. He should already have some.
Korach's not a Levite. He says he's out of Reuben.
No, that's the other two.
He thinks that Moses came up with his own command of the Tzitzites.
Right.
He thinks he's like
all of these things.
And he's like, that's why he says the entire congregation is holy or set apart. Because he's like, this is a crazy thing. We already know we're holy people. He goes, I'm holy too. Let me prove this to you. And Moses like, all right, prove it. Let's see if you live and bring this fire to Yah.
Yeah. And you said he was from
Levi,
and up to the very first verse here.
And Korach, son of Yitzhar, son of Kohath, son of Levi, took both Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, sons of Peleth, sons of Reuben. So Dathan and Abiram are Reuben.
He is a Levite, like rising up.
All right. So he is not a Levite. Why didn't anyone stop me when I was saying this?
I thought that's what you meant. I thought you meant the other two were Reubenites, and you
this was a Levite. This was
Korah is a Levite.
Korah is a Levite, And but I didn't realize because the reading on this is terrible. Now Korach, the son of Yitzhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dotham and Evrim, the sons of Eliav, and On, the sons of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. It never.
This is
Wow.
the same thing as yours.
Does it?
Mine's a little easier to read.
That's rough.
Yeah. All right. So where are we at? 7.
8 now.
8. All right. All right, and just being a Levite, if this guy's not trained in this, he's doomed anyway. But still, I stand by that.
I mean, he was already part of Levi. He should
He
have
was
been
the-
happy to be part of this.
Right, but if you are not into every part of the Levites, you're going to do something wrong, right? If you're not like ready to go into the temple, if you don't have your bells on, you haven't washed yourself, you don't have your garb on right, you're going to get in trouble. And so unless he was part of this thing, which I don't think he was, I think this is where the jealousy got him. All right, 9. Does it seem but a small thing? Oh, hold on, did I miss one? And Moshe said unto Korach, Hear I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Does it seem but a small thing unto you that the Eloi of Yashrael has separated you from the assembly of Yashrael, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of Yahuwah, and to stand before the assembly to minister unto them? So he's like basically, he set them up to die. And I'm not saying this is bad at all. They got exactly what they deserved. But he's reminding them afterwards, right? He's like, okay, you guys, and you got to understand, these guys came at him angry, right? So there's 250. This was a crowd. So we're talking a riotous group of people that are probably with rocks in their hands, and they're ready to run Moshe through. And so Moshe reminds everybody, is it a small thing that you are of the tribe of Levi, that you are separated from the rest of everyone, that you're supposed to be doing this stuff in a way that Yah wants us to do that? 10. And he has brought you near to him, and all your brethren, the sons of Levi, with you, and seek ye the priesthood also?
No, okay, so mine says, yet ye seek the kahuna as well, which is the priesthood. So these guys weren't actually supposed to be the priests. They were part of the other sets of
Right.
things. And I think that's where they got so jealous. They didn't think they felt like they were lesser, even though they weren't. They all had their important jobs set apart by Yah. They just were feeling jealous for whatever reason.
As far as the high priest goes, we know Aaron is a high priest, right? But it's like there's a lot of the lower soldiers, and there's just a few of the people that can do like the meticulous stuff. And I don't know so much if you would want that duty, because man, it would only take a couple of evil thoughts or something at night, or something evil that you have done and dwell, or hate your brother, right? Your brother does something evil to you and you dwell on that, and then you take that into the temple. It's just going to be bad news, real bad news. All right, 11. For which cause both you and your company, all your company, are gathered together against Yahuwah. And what is Aaron, that ye murmur against him? So he's like, hey, why are you guys attacking Aaron?
Aaron hasn't even done this. Why are you throwing him in the mix? He hasn't even done anything.
And, it's cool. Moshe forgives, and he's like the man. He's just a really good dude. Okay, and Moshe sent to call Dathan and Evrim, the sons of Eliav, which said, we will not come up. Good call.
So after all this, after they rose up against Moses and everything, like, yeah, we don't want none of this. We're sorry.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Is it a small thing that you have brought us up out of the land that flows with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except you make yourself altogether a prince over us? And so this is Korah. Again, he's like, look, he's like, he says, and they say Egypt flows with milk and honey, right? So that must have been one heck of slavery, right? So slavery must have been good in Egypt. Maybe. Moreover, you have not brought us into a land that flows with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will you put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. And Moshe was very wroth, and said unto Yahuwah, respect not you their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, neither have I hurt one of them. So Moshe not only just threw him under the bus, but he made sure the bus hit reverse and ran backwards. And Moshe said unto Korah, be you and all your company before Yahuwah, you and they and Aaron tomorrow, and take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before Yahuwah every man his censer, 250 censers, you also, and Aaron, each of you his censer. Now, Prince Mestema, Hasatan, was probably having a heyday in this day, having just a complete heyday. This is he's gotten these people to rebel against Yah, and I'm sure everyone's real nervous. I mean, if you had 250 people of the renowned, right, these are the sword fighters, or these are the people that have become something within it, and you got these kind of dudes after you, it's going to be a sketchy situation. Okay, And they took every man to his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the assembly with Moshe and Aaron. Now, I don't know if they should have even been in the doorway of the tabernacle of the assembly with Moshe and Aaron. And Korach gathered all the assembly against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and the glory of Yahuwah appeared unto all the assembly. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe and unto El Aaron, saying, Separate yourself from among this assembly, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O El, the Eloi of the Ruach of all flesh, shall one man sin, and you will be wroth with all the assembly? And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the assembly, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korach, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moshe rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Yashrael followed him. And he spoke unto the assembly, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korach, Dathan and Abiram, on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out, and stood in the door of their tents, and their women, and their sons, and their little children. And Moshe said, Hereby ye shall know that Yahuwah has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die, the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yahuwah has not sent me.
That's crazy. That's like it's like here, watch this.
Super death sentence.
He's like, if these guys die, if these guys die a normal death, they get old, and I'm not of Yah. But if not, then this is how it is. I am from Yah. This is how you know I'm from Yah. I don't make my own rules. He's the one that's supposed to make this easy. And here we are.
Yep. And so here's Moshe again. He's screaming to the crowd. But if Yahuwah make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up, with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked Yahuwah.
That'd just be a scary thing, right? Even if like you didn't think he was of Yah, this dude started saying this, there'd be a lot of thoughts running through your head, like, what if I just messed up?
If he's from Levi, he should have understood the process, and he should understand pretty much everything in there, and he should understand that he's probably not clean enough to make this one happen. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of the speaking, all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korach, and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the assembly.
Mine says She-Hole.
She-Hole?
Sheol. Sorry.
Sheol.
Sheol.
She-Hole. Like, what? Okay, so the hole is a female too. It's a she. No, yeah, they went into Sheol. So that's a
The
quick.
pit is Sheol. Yeah.
The pit is Sheol. That's they made a quick trip into hell. Well, what we would think of probably as hell, or at least the beginning of it. All right, the bad part of Sheol. They definitely didn't make it to the part where Lazarus, or not Lazarus. Who's the guy that the rich guy and the one guy?
Lazarus.
Was it Lazarus?
Lazarus, the poor man, yeah.
Then there's the other. We have the other
There
Lazarus.
was two Lazaruses.
Right. I'm getting too old. Just too old. All right, here we go. And all Yashrael that were round about them fled at the cry of them. You could hear screamings going down in this pit, where they said, "Lest the earth swallow us up also." All right, so if you're 2 houses down from Korach, and the ground opens up and all this stuff just went in, you're gonna run. You're not gonna be there. You're gonna
They don't want none of this.
Yeah, they're like, if this happened right here, it could happen right here, and they probably all ran for their lives. So this was an exciting moment, real exciting, right?
Moses just sitting back like,
I told you guys. I told you.
You would think they would have respected him a lot more after this.
You would think they would have respected him after he lifted up the Red Sea and made the waves go whatever feet in the air, and they were able to walk on dry land, right?
Very hard to comprehend what's going through their minds.
It's very hard. Yeah.
Have they seen much more like this before, where it's just like nothing new to them?
How is it possible we have the faith that I could see all of this happening? I have no doubt this happened. It's just what it is. And these guys lived through this, walked through this, experienced this, and still these signs and wonders. I mean, even when Yah came down on top of Mount Sinai and was sitting there cracking his horns and thunders and everything, and the people are scared to death. But it only lasts for like a little bit, right? We forget what scares us, and we continue on in danger. All right. And there came out of fire from Yahuwah, and they consumed the 250 men that offered incense. So all their houses are gone, and all the fire now has come down and burned these guys to a crisp. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter you the fire yonder, for they are hollowed. All right, when was the last time we saw Eleazar have to deal with something like this?
When his other brothers died.
Yeah, when they called him, they wouldn't let Aaron touch any of the stuff, and he had to go pick up the burnt, crispy brothers of his. Yeah, it's over. They were gone. I don't know what he did, what happened, but I mean, I'm sure they were pretty crispy, or maybe not at all. All right. 38. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar. For they offered them before Yahuwah, therefore they are hallowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Yashrael. This is crazy. This whole thing right here, the censers, right? It's like the people were unholy, but the censers are what Yah wants to now have made an example, right? And so you had, how many of those guys? 250 of them?
250.
You had 250 censers, and Eleazar's looking out into this burning field of what used to be humans, and there's like little censers everywhere on the side, and he now has to pick up this out of the bodies, out of the burned bodies and stuff.
That's a lot of sensors, though.
There's a lot of censors, yeah. It's going to be many trips in. And it's probably, I don't know how many other priests were doing this. Maybe it's just been him. So this is probably an all-day gig, picking up 250 censors out of the crispy critters. All right. 39. And Eleazar, the priest, Eli, would you please stop laughing here? Crispy critters, that took you down. All right, let's go. All right, and Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers, wherewith they were burnt, had offered, and they were broad and made broad plates for a covering of the altar. Guys, can you get it together, please? This is not joke hour. It's just it was an observation and a thought of that these people. It's not going to be good, right? Yah isn't going to send down like dog food cooking heat, right? He's going to send down some heat, right? They're going to be different looking than they were. Okay. To a memorial unto the children of Yashrael, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, come near to offer incense unto Yahuwah, and that he be not as Korach and his company, as Yahuwah said to him by the hand of Moshe. So this is interesting, right? The seed of Aaron, right? So these guys are all Levites, but it's the seed of Aaron, like Eleazar, that is able to get into that area and to deal with this stuff.
That's why they each had their own position. That's why he was.
That's why Moshe knew it was
jealous.
game over. This was totally game over. These were dead men walking the day before.
Moshe is way too smart for these guys.
Yeah. Okay, but on the morrow, all the assembly of the children of Yashrael murmured against Moshe and against Aaron, saying, Ye have killed the people of Yahuwah. All right, so now this is where the dummy awards
They want to die too?
Yeah, they at some level, I don't try to be like bad, but I mean, these guys end up with a dummy award, and now they have like a couple of check marks besides the dummy award, right? They are really game upping. They're advancing their dummy award. They saw what happened, right? The houses just went into the ground. These people were screaming.
And fire came out of nowhere and ate them all.
Yeah, the last thing they heard of Korach was him screaming as he went down a pit, right? And they're like, wow, that was creepy. And then the ground closes back up, and there's no hole anymore. And everyone's like, wow, that had to be super creepy, right? You would still have the chills. You would still be sitting there, like, freaked out. But then...
These guys are like...
This is why I say Prince Mastema, Satan, had his day. He's like, oh, no. He's like, look at that. Get angry. These people were of God. And Moshe just killed them, right? And Moshe had nothing to do with it.
It's like when you go against a pastor, and it's like, oh, this is the man of God. And you're like, well, you're questioning for his beliefs. And you're like, why are you doing what you're doing? And he's like, oh, you're a demon.
Who's a man of God?
With the preachers, right? That's what like when you attack a preacher, when you go against a preacher.
I attack preachers all the time.
I know that's the thing. You're considered a demon. That's the same thing people.
Oh yeah,
do.
they always say I'm a demon.
Yeah, exactly. When they say you go against a man of God, when you go against a preacher.
Oh
right?
yeah, I know, and I've gone against preachers.
And these
for
weren't
a
the men.
long
These
time.
definitely weren't the men of God. These were
No,
men
but the people. I mean, that's the thing is they were renowned, right? These were the famous people within their tribes. The Reuben, they all had these famous people, and as you guys in a tribe, the strength and the people that do great things rise to the top. These were the legends of these groups. Now the legends are all dead. They dead. So there it is. And it came to pass when the assembly was gathered against Moshe and against Aaron that they looked toward the tabernacle of the assembly, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of Yahuwah appeared with a giant spanking stick. Dad's back. And Moshe and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the assembly. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Get you up from among this assembly, that I may consume them as in a moment. And they fell upon their faces. There's Moshe. He's fallen upon his face 3 times in the last 2 days. Right? This is the most humble guy ever. He could sit there and wield Yah's power against these people, but he's so humble, he gets down. He got on his knees. Can you imagine that? When you have a group of people coming at you and you're so, instead of yelling back, Moshe just gets down and bows. What do you want? And Moshe said unto Aaron, take a censer and put fire therein from off the altar and put on incense and go quickly unto the assembly and make atonement for them, for there is wrath gone out from Yahuwah. The plague is begun. And Moshe and Aaron took as Moshe commanded and ran into the midst of the assembly. He's 85 years old.
Yeah,
running,
roughly.
running. All these people are dropping dead. And behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Probably the weirdest days of their existence, right? So he's sitting there holding this incense up, and it says he's standing between the dead and the living. And there's like people dead everywhere. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, beside them that died about the matter of Korah.
These are this ain't the 250 that died. This is like 14,000.
It's about roughly 15,000.
A lot. And Aaron returned unto Moshe unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and the plague was stayed. That's just it's a crazy story. It's a crazy situation. That had to be the wild days. You know, one day if we ever get to like a moment that I can speak with El Moshe, I will probably get on my knees, not bow to him like I bowed to Elohim, but this guy is to be respected. I mean, this guy is the man. I would like, hey, what is your craziest day that you ever had with these people? What would you call your craziest day? Because this sounds like it was nuts, right? That sounds absolutely nuts. And this happened in the day before. He had the tribe, the people wanted to come kill him. He got on his knees. The next day, everyone died. That same day, the rest of them, 14,000 of them died. So, and nobody gets it. Nobody wants to seek Yah.
I think at some point they should figure it out, right? These next day
They never figure it out. I hate to be a story breaker, but they never figure this out. And that's why they go into captivity. And that's why we are here where we are at. Because our forefathers got us all sent into captivity, right? The 10 tribes of Yashrael are gone, scattered across the face of the earth. And now here we are, right? And when we are coming out of captivity at the ends of our time, we will seek Yah, and hopefully the rest of the world will seek Yah. He is all powerful. He's all knowing. And until somebody else can show me a creator or how creation got done, I will never move from my stance that our creator designs the best stuff ever. And we don't know of any other creator, so that has to be him. So with that, I guess that is it. Anyone have anything else interesting? Anything to add?
Tonight is Youth for Yah in Spanish.
Youth for Yah in Spanish. Yep. Tune in if you speak Espanol. And if you don't,
tune in anyways.
Yeah, give us a like, will you? No, we don't care about likes. We don't care about subs. We don't care about any of that stuff. But we do care about you, and we appreciate you guys, and we thank you guys very much for your time, and hope you guys have a wonderful third day on our Creator's calendar. And I guess that's it.
All right, shalom.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Read your Bibles. We're out.